Briefly demonstrate how to use a digital experiment that models a fluidized bed. Fluidized beds are used on large scale as reactors. The idea to get much better mass transfer between particles and the fluid. And here we're measuring pressure drop across a fluidized bed for different flow rates through the bed. So the simulation looks like this, where we have a feed beaker. The valve controls what the flow rate is through the bed. And then we measure the pressure drop. So this is water flowing through the bed, and we're measuring the difference in the pressure between the inlet and the outlet. And this is one of the main measurements in this experiment. We can by switching this valve, we can collect the flow and measure the flow rate for a given valve setting. Or we could switch this valve and just have it recirculating through the bed. So let's look at this interactive simulation. Here's the simulation. Let's open this valve part way. And then we'll start the pump. And let me point out that here we have directions that tell a little more about doing the experiment. And notice the flow rate's too high, so let's cut the flow rate down so we're not having the water flow out of the manometer. And so once it's started, now we can up the flow rate until we start to fluidize the bed. Now you see the bed's fluidized. We can measure the height of the bed. We have a magnifier for the ruler for the height. We also have a magnifier so we can measure the pressure difference, the pressure drop across the bed. Now, by switching this valve, we can collect the liquid and we can measure flow rate. If we want accurate measurements, we can use the scroll wheel to expand the size of the beaker and therefore measure more accurately. I'll point out that in addition to the directions, we have a detailed worksheet that suggests what experiments to do, what measurements to make, and what analysis to carry out. And this worksheet, when we click on this button, it will download a PDF file with the worksheet.